Can we talk about money now? We live in a society where we're obsessed about money. Everybody is chasing money. We are all looking for deals. Kenya in particular specializes in deals. 9 out of 10 people you find driving a nice car, they're into deals, no real business. It's an unfortunate situation. But I want to give you a different paradigm. You are never designed to chase money. When you stop chasing the wrong things, you begin attracting the right things. You are designed to pursue purpose. Your purpose lies somewhere between your deepest passions and the world's greatest needs. Money is a resultant of solving genuine, real people's problems. Let me give you a very simple example. You see, you don't need to preach me into wanting what I already need. Let me say that one more time. You don't need to preach me into wanting what I already need. I need airtime for my mobile phone. You don't need to persuade me about that. You don't need to show me the shops that sell airtime. But if you're going to book an appointment with me to sell to me a product called cryptocurrency, just as an example, because you believe there's a certain future that belongs to investing in cryptocurrency, you could be right and I'm wrong, but I'll still not buy. Because I don't see the problem it is solving for me. Mark you, I could be wrong. Cryptocurrency may help me in 10 years. But the reality about consumer behavior is this. We procure what is solving our current existing problems. But it's more fulfilling if I'm going to solve your problem along my purpose in life. For example, you could not have come to this meeting if you didn't have a need. There's nothing you purchase without a need. Every single procurement you make, there's a need that is being satisfied. But it's exciting for me that I'm meeting your need in my space, in my natural element. And even if you have never come to my live audience before, even if you have never listened to my YouTube messages, if you've been here since I began this message, by now you can tell I'm in my natural element. I love what I'm doing. By now you can tell this is my real space. Because you flow in your natural space. See, fish never enroll for swimming lessons. Birds never enroll for flying school. They just flow in their gift. Your gift is your domain. Your gift reveals your purpose in life. You are created to operate in your purpose, the reason for your existence. In your purpose, you operate in your area of dominion. If you get a shark out of the sea waters into dry land, even a domestic dog will devour him into pieces. Why? He's outside his area of dominion. Outside your dominion is a life of struggle. You hate Monday mornings because you're up to something you hate, but you have to do it because of the bills. You like it when there's a holiday. You look forward to Friday evening. For me, it makes zero difference Sunday to Saturday. As a matter of fact, many times I work Saturdays and Sundays more than weekdays. You see, when you're in your dominion, you're not governed by the calendars. Outside your purpose is pushing rocks uphill. Outside your purpose is swimming against the current. Outside your purpose is flying against the weeds. Outside your purpose is forming self-resistance. Outside your purpose is fighting against yourself. Outside your purpose, you trade on qualifications, and guess what? Qualifications are available from anyone else. And if they don't have them, they will obtain them. No one has a monopoly to qualifications, no matter how high the qualifications may be. When you operate, when you trade in qualifications, you're like any other kid in the block. And we're in a society where we have similar employees, with similar job descriptions, working for similar companies, producing similar products. Few people stand out in the park. In your purpose, you are your own guide. In your purpose, you are matchless, peerless. In your purpose, you are immutable. Others can look like you, they can copy you, they can talk like you, they can attempt to mimic you, but they will never become you. You're in a unique space that cannot be duplicated because God created you unique. In your purpose, you enter rest. When God placed the first man and the first woman, He gave them a lot of work. The first man was working in the place I call the place of rest. According to some estimates, the Garden of Eden is estimated to be the size of the continent of Africa. Now, God was not playing games when He told Adam to tend the land. How was Adam expected to take care of a land so vast, the size of a continent, with no workers, no aeroplanes? It is because Adam traveled at the speed of thought. Adam was limitless. Adam could name the birds in the air, the sea urchins on the seabed, the animals in the tropical rainforests, even the worms in the underground. And you were born limitless. All limitations are self-imposed. You choose to jog for a kilometer. You choose to stretch it to 2 kilometers. Even when you go for jogging, you've already decided whether you're doing a lap or 2 or 3. All limitations are self-imposed, including financial limitations. You decide how much you want to make in this life, including relationship goals. You decide how much peace and happiness you want in that relationship. All limitations are self-imposed. In your purpose, you enter rest. When Adam left the garden of God, the garden of rest, the garden of Eden, weeds, thorns, briars, thistles stifled his wheat, his crop, and life became a struggle. He was outside his master plan. You are designed to operate according to your maker's, your designer's master plan. Your first assignment on this planet is to find your purpose. Your second assignment is to pursue that purpose with singleness of heart, with singularity of intention, to master your craft, to develop your day masterpiece. Every single year, I conduct a workshop called 12 Hours of Transformation. I decided to do this because my initial idea was to take people for cruises to train them about discovering their purpose in life. In the first cruise, we were able to take 19 people to the River Nile in Egypt. And I can see some people here who were with us. And during that trip, 3 days, I was just teaching them about connecting their purpose. The testimonies are many. Last year, we decided to do 2 cruises. And one of them, we did Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. And we had that 8 of us here. And I can see a couple of you here who were with us in Singapore, just to connect with their God-given purpose. And later on in August, we got a record 80 Kenyans joining me from the UK, Spain, and Portugal. But I realized no matter how hard I try to encourage people, some people may never join us for the cruises. If you can, next year, August, I'll be taking people to the Caribbean cruise from Miami, Florida to Bahamas and back. And unlike the UK, many of you know this by now, I have a personal relationship with the US ambassador for Kenya. So we'll be able to get your visas for the US. And we can do that cruise together. If you're serious, we can go together just to connect about your purpose. But again, you don't have to wait for that. I initiated a crash program which we call 12 Hours of Transformation for people who may never make it for these classes, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I'll help you discover your purpose, monetize your purpose, follow your purpose, develop your prototype, develop your masterpiece in life. We do this class once a year. We did it in March. But because of the conference we held exactly 1 month ago, 17th of April, I decided to do it for the second time. Many people were interested. We will be doing it again 6th of June at Lyco Regency. Your investment will be $10K, for which $5K goes to the hotel bills And 5K goes to the facilitator in plain language. 5K in a cooler. Do you know, I like making it clear lest I get accused. Do you think I should be getting something from the work I do? Yes. You know, we never ask for offering here. We never ask for tithe. I never like anybody going out there saying they were cheated into giving here. That's why we write the charges are. So the charges are 10K, and for the record, they go to Kenya Jewish pocket. Do you know why I say things like this? It's because of the way Kenyans are. We like creating stories out of nothing. So when you come here, explain. You pay for the training. The same way you paid for your school fees. Is that okay? Yes. Sometimes I'm pushed by people to train them about public speaking. I do it once a year. And we'll be doing it on 27th of July this year. Like Regency again, for those of you who are in this place and are keen with public presentations, public speaking, enhancing your training skills. Much about that. I want to read for you a scripture, if you have your Bible, about your purpose. I want to show you something that you may never have thought about, because most of us believe men were created before women. And some of the struggles we have is because we never realized that man and woman were created the same day by God, the same time. If you're able, go with me to Genesis chapter 5. This is the easiest book to open. It's the first book of the Bible. Genesis chapter 5. I'm going to read verse 1 and 2. And I want you to follow this very closely. It has the capacity to set you free. Genesis chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God, made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. Let me repeat verse number 2. Listen to this again. Male and female created he them, plural, not singular. And blessed them, plural. And called their, not his name, their name, Adam. Adam is the name of the man and the woman. Now let's go to Genesis 1. I want to read for you some 3 verses. 26, 27, 28. 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, God created he him, male and female. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. God blessed them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it. And the reason we have the word subdue here is because there was already a loose enemy on the earth. So God instructs them, male and female, have dominion, multiply, be fruitful, subdue the earth. Now, God created man and woman at the same time, gave them the name Adam. Man is spirit. He dwells in a body. But God made the male body in Genesis 2 first for the sake of leadership. And the Apostle Paul, in many places in the scriptures, they are very clear that God intended the male man to lead the female man. That's not my discovery, that's the word of God. What is to lead a woman? In other words, God expected the man to have a clear vision for a woman to be able to support. And so the making, remember this, Genesis 2 is about making. Genesis 1 is about creation. You create out of nothing. You make something out of something. When God created them, the day he created them, he called them Adam, male and female. But Genesis 2, God makes the male body first for leadership. What is leadership? Not lording over your emotions and your intentions, but leading a vision, How do I know? And God told the woman to be a helper. Help in what? In the vision. So man and woman heard God's command at the same time. So when the man loses his vision, the woman is not able to support. A woman is only able to give 100% support to a man who has 100% clarity of his vision. Failure to which the woman remembers God's instructions. Be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, subdue the land. So a woman in her natural is not able to support a man who cannot lead. So leadership on the part of the man was leading the vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But the Bible also says this: your young men shall see visions. Translation: where there are no visions, there are no young men. So when a man lacks a vision, the woman is not able to support. What's my message for you? You should not support a man until he's clear with where he needs support. You should only hook up with a man to the degree he's clear with his mission on earth. A lot of ladies hook up with a man hoping someday he'll find out what he wants to do. And that begins the crisis. Yes, you are meant to look for money together. To the degree he understands his vision, then you can support it. Because women have a phenomenal capacity to support a vision. Why? You are natural incubators. You are nurturers. Men by nature don't know how to nurture. You are natural nurturers. So you nurture not just a baby, but you also nurture a baby business. You nurture a vision. A man is able to initiate. You are able to nurture. That's why men, when they don't have women in their lives, they can't sustain a vision. Because we are splinters. You are Maradonas. Your resilience defies description. No matter what you do or do not do, you will still fail in your finances. You will still fail in your health. You will still fail in your relationships. You will still fail in your career. You will still fail in this life. I'm not concerned that you're going to succeed. I'm concerned what are you going to do when you fail. Not if, but when you fail. Trouble comes without an invitation. So long as you can hear my voice, you're either in trouble or headed for trouble, or you've just emerged out of trouble. Job 14:1. Few are the days of a man born of a woman, and they are full of trouble. There is no way I can close this meeting before I deal with that question of trouble. Because everything I've been describing looks glossy and ideal. Life doesn't flow like that. What will you do when trouble hits? Because when trouble hits us, when we lose that job, when we get sick, when we get that accident, when we break that relationship, the first reaction, why me, oh Lord? Why my family? I ask you tonight, who do you think should have gone through that trouble? What is their name? Can you show me their address? We talk of untimely death. Let me ask you tonight, when is it timely to lose your child? When is it timely to be involved in an accident? When is it timely for a relationship to break? When is it timely to lose your job? When is it timely to be in ICU? When is it timely to lose your mother? It doesn't matter how old she is. When is it timely to release her? When trouble comes, we go berserk. Some of us lose appetite. Some of us, we sustain stress over a long period, and that's called depression. And others, we entertain suicidal thoughts. And you need to know this. Suicide is a permanent choice premised on temporal situations. No matter the emotions of the moment, no matter the pressure, emotions are like the waves of the sea. They rise and fall. They rise and fall. You must never make a permanent choice based on your temporal charges. Simply because someone has abused you. Do you know this? 2 weeks ago, guys broke into our house, stole 3 laptops and some phones. We were burying my grandfather the same day. And in the evening, I still spoke at Parklands Baptist Church. And I know this may sound funny, and I can give you many other examples of many areas I've been tested in my composure. I don't think I have all the time. I can give you many examples. Well, with that lady who was taking pictures here, Mary, and that was last year, November. I hardly get a chance to speak to schools these days. Occasionally, I'll have 1 or 2 or 3 in a year. So we went to speak in this school, and when I was driving, when I just got off the main road, there was a public transport vehicle, Matatu if you like, which hit us so hard. I was just off the road. Unfortunately, all the parents in the school had. It was a prize-giving day. It was a major event. They were waiting for their guest speaker. And there was such a loud bang, and they all got out. This was a new car, a Mercedes-Benz. It is hit, damaged completely. And I looked at the principal and I said, look, you have many drivers here because you have several school buses. Can you get one to proceed to the police station? And I spoke to parents for 2.5 hours. You see, if you attach your value to your valuables, then whenever your valuables get shaken, your value gets shaken. That's the reality. That's why you must be clear with where you get your values from. Jennifer Lopez redefined beauty. Suddenly, women began going for large butts. The extent people can go to protect their beauty. She decided to insure her butt for $300 million US. 300 million US. How precious are some buttons? The highest insured body parts are Mariah Carey's legs. $1 billion US. To bring into context, 100 billion Kenyan shilling. That can pay all our teachers an entire year. If somebody's legs can be worth $1 billion, what is the value of a soul? I suggest to you tonight, you are priceless. There's nothing you wear that gives you significance. There's nothing you drive that gives you value. God formed you, breathed into you, and you became a living soul. You are the breath of God. If you lose your breast because on medical grounds, don't lose your mind. If you lose your legs, don't lose your mind. If you lose your house, don't lose your mind. If you lose your car, don't lose your mind. If you lose your husband, don't lose your mind. If you lose your child, don't lose your mind. You're not your breast, you're not your leg, you're not your eye. You are your mind. Please, would you stand? Come the way you are. Just come right where I am. If you pick my mind right now and put it in Janet's mind, she will deliver the message for the evening. Because the Lord forbid. Even if I was in wheelchair today, I would have given you the same message. The Lord forbid. If somebody poured sulfuric acid on my eyes, I would still have given you the message. If you lose your hair, don't lose your mind. But if you pick Janet's mind and you put it in my mind, I'll immediately start lipsticks, hair, nail polish. Oh, look at your nails. Can I see your nails? Immediately. Because that's what Janet tells her. That's what Janet tells her body. You are your mind. Don't lose your mind. And that's why I like saying this. Doctors have conducted kidney transplants, thymus transplants, intestine transplants, even heart transplant, but never once have they ever conducted a mind transplant. If they did that, would end up with a different person altogether. And that's the reason you came here. You came here because of the investment in your mind. You live here a different person altogether. That's why you must be careful with what you read, with what you see. Don't process every piece of media. Learn to filter stuff. Don't listen to everyone who comes across your path. Some could be pouring out of their own bitterness. Those who are going down the drain don't want to go alone. They are looking for company. Please, you may see Janet. Here's the deal. Whatever you lose, don't lose your mind. I was just giving you 1 or 2 examples. I've gone through many. And I was saying this, when trouble hits us, don't lose your composure. You see, life is 5% what happens to you. 95% how you respond or react to what happens to you. Stop singing 5 years later. You don't know how he left me with 4 hungry children and the rent to pay. Why are you living in 2006? You will never graduate out of trouble. So to hack in this life, I want to suggest to you 3 truths that will keep you the rest of your life.